Good, good.
Good. How is everyone? Gurpreet, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you, ma'am?
Perfect. Okay. So guys, Jamapa Lovely. That means my name is Lovely. Jitavaye Komputis Français. That means I work as a French tutor. And I'm going to give you guys your French lesson, very first French lesson here today in this class. So we will be starting with alphabets. So like every language that you learn, like let's say you learn English, you learn Hindi, you learn Punjabi, or Diane, just wanted to confirm you're able to understand Hindi, right?
No.
Okay, no problem. You understand English only?
Yes, English only.
Okay, so we'll talk in English, no problem. So, guys, whenever you learn a new language, you start with alphabets, right? You start with core alphabets like A, B, C, D. For example, you learned English, you started learning alphabets first. So, the same way, today we are going to learn French. So, we will start learning with alphabets of French first. So, as I mentioned, je m'appelle Lovely, je travaille comme tutrice français. That means my name is Lovely, and I work as a French tutor at French with Sisters. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen now. Let me know if you guys can see it, okay? Perfect. So I just started sharing my screen. Are you able to see it? Yes,
No,
guys? You
no.
guys can see it, right? Uh,
Yes, yes.
okay, just give me a moment, guys. I think there is a problem with my headset. Yes, it's good now. Okay, so let me open the topics that we are going to cover today. Okay, so we will be covering alphabets today. Day one, les alphabets. So les alphabets in French, that means the alphabets. So as I mentioned, in French, we will start with alphabets. So just to make sure that you guys know of this thing, so when you talk about alphabets in French, guys, and in English, there are same alphabets. In English, we have 26 alphabets from A to Z. Similarly, we have 26 alphabets in French A to Z, and they're written the very same way as we write them in English. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E until Z, the same way in both the languages, total 26 alphabets. However, the difference exists in their pronunciation. The way we pronounce those alphabets, that is different. So in English, for example, you say A as A, but in French, you will say it as A. So that's the difference. Now I will start from A and until Z. We will complete all the alphabets in French. I will show you how we are going to pronounce it. You can let me know if any doubts. You can unmute yourself and ask me for any questions if you have. Okay. So let's get started. So A is written as A, but it's pronounced as A. Just like you say, for example, father in English, you give the sound of other, right after F. That's how you're gonna pronounce A as A in French. A is A. That is A. Then we have B as in bay. Bay. Just like you say, for example, Bay Concourse in Toronto, right? Similarly, you say B as bay. Bay. Then we have C as say, which means speak. When you say in English, say something, speak something, right? So you can remember this using this English word, which means speak. C is say. So C will be pronounced as say. Then we have D, which is they. They again is an English word which is used to refer to a group of people, group of students, group of teachers, group of boys, or any group basically. So you can remember the pronunciation of they using this English word which is they. So D is they. Then E is pronounced as O. Just like you say a book, a table, or chair. Similarly, you're going to say O when pronouncing E in French. So E is O in French. Then we have F. So F is, guys, going to be similar pronunciation as that of English. The only difference is that you will pronounce it with a bit of stress and pressure on them. So F will no longer remain F. Rather, it will be pronounced as F. Coach, they're just giving, so he also missed his first class. He also wants to join. Can you let him in? He's going to join. Yes, yes. And are you recording? Yes, it's recording. No problem. Okay, so guys, give me one moment. Saroj, are you there? No. Give me one moment, guys. I'm going to stop sharing. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, he's here. Okay, hi Saroj, how are you today? Saroj, you can hear me well?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Saroj. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Perfect. So, Saroj, we were doing alphabets, les alphabets in French. So, I'll give you a brief overview of what we did. We just covered until E. So, I'll give you a brief overview. So, as you know, we have 26 alphabets in English. Similarly, we have 26 alphabets in French, A to Z, A to Z. They're written the same way as well. The only difference exists in pronunciation. The way we pronounce them in French is quite different from that of English. So let's get started and let's see what's the difference is actually in French and in English. So A is A in French. However, it's A in English. So when you talk about French, it's going to be A. Just like when you say father, for example, in English, you give the sound of A after F, right? So you say father, father. The same way you're going to say A in French, that is A. Then we have B, which is bay. Just like there is a Bay Concourse location in Toronto, that's how you're gonna say B as bay. Then we have C, which is say, just like an English word say, speak up something, which means speak, right? So you remember C as say. Then we have D, which is they. So they again is an English word, which refers to a group of people, right? So you can remember D pronunciation as they using an English word. Then we have E, which is a. When you say a book, a table, a chair, a cat, the same way you're going to pronounce E, just like a. That is a. Then we have F. So F, guys, is a bit similar to that of English. The only difference, slight difference, is that it's going to be pronounced with a bit of stress and pressure on them. So it's F. F will no longer be F itself. However, it will be F. So you extend the sound a bit. Then we have G, which is J, J. So it's J. Give it a bit slight soft sound. So it's J. Then we have H, which is Ash. Ash. And if you know, H is going to be silent in whole French language. No matter if you see a word starting from H, ending with H, or H comes in the middle of a word, no matter how the placement is done for the alphabet H, but it will always remain silent, no matter what. So, for a very good example, say hospital. Hospital, that means hospital. Hospital is hospital in English, and here H is silent. And if you notice, hospital is me in hospital, I have not written S because in hospital, as in English, we have S, but when we talk about French, there is no S. And the pronunciation is hospital, starting from O and ending with L. H is going to be silent. Okay? Then we have L, which means E. I think I am missing something. 1 second. No, sorry, my bad. It's not L. So it's I, E, F, G, H, I. So I is E. The way we pronounce E alphabet in English, similarly, we are going to pronounce I in French. So it's E. Simple. Just remember E alphabet of English, and that's how you're going to pronounce I. E. So J is G.
Sorry,
G.
yeah, sorry for interruption. Just, ma'am, just need to ask, like, as you said
Mhm.
in front and the back, it's both ways silent.
So गुरप्रीत sorry गुलप्रीत,
Yeah.
no matter अगर आप front में देखो, whether it's at the front or whether it's at the end or it's in the middle, no
Okay.
matter how the placement
Okay.
is done, it will always be silent.
Okay. Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I think my PC is on low battery. Let me plug it in. Just give me 1 moment, okay? Okay, so yeah, I is E, J is G. Now, if you notice, G ko we said J. G was pronounced as J and G is pronounced as G. Why? Because their pronunciations are similar as to that of English, but they are swapped. So when it comes to French, you swap the pronunciation of G and J. G is J, J is G. Unlike in English, where J is G and J is J. Then we have K, which is Ka, Ka. Just say simply Ka, and that is K in French. Then we have L. So again, L is also, guys, similar to that of English. The only difference is, slightest difference is that there is going to be a bit of stress and pressure on it while we pronounce it. So it will be L, L. So F alphabet, L alphabet is the same as that in English. The only difference is that you put a bit of stress and pressure on them while you pronounce these alphabets. Similarly is the case with M and O. When you pronounce these alphabets, they are pronounced similar to that of English, but it's pronounced with a bit of stress and pressure on them. So M is going to be M. M is going to be M. N will be N. N. Then O is O. You extend the sound at the end. O, right? And then we have P, which is pay. Just for example, take an example. You say pay for your bill. Pay your say grocery bill or rent bill, right? Similarly, you're going to pronounce P as pay. Just remember this English word which means pay, and that is how you pronounce P in French. P is pay. Then we have Q, guys. Q is Q. 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 You just simply remember Q. For people who understand Hindi, you can remember this using Y translation. The translation of Y in Hindi is Q, right? So that's how you can remember Q in French. Then we have R. R, guys, is a bit tricky sound. So when you pronounce R, you have to remember three things basically. First is that you have to combine the sound of H and R to make the final R pronunciation in French. So it's a combined sound of H and R. Second, it has to have some vibration in there. While you pronounce R, you try to give it a bit of vibration. Third, and the most important thing is that it needs to be pronounced from the back of your throat. It's more like a gluttering sound when you clear your throat. More like that. So when you try to clear your throat, the sound that comes out that's produced, it's similar to that sound. So R is going to be air, air. You remember, like when you say H and R together, how it's combined and how there is some vibration in there. For example, when you say bonjour, it's bonjour. So her and ro comes together. H and R comes together to make the final R sound in French. And there is some vibration in there. So these three things you have to make note of when pronouncing R. Then we have S, which is S. Again, it's a bit similar to that of English. The only difference is that you put a bit of stress and pressure on them. So it's S. Then we have T, which is te, which is te. So T is te, te. Then we have U, which is U. You, just like you see, for example, when you see something dirty or when you see something disgusting or cheap, you say, ew, how cheap, how mean, how disgusting. Similarly, you're going to say you as you, ew. Then we have V, guys. V is more like way. It sounds more like way when you, for example, ask for certain directions from someone. You say, could you please tell me the way to go to that place? So similarly, you're going to say way for pronouncing V in French. Then we have W. W is double. It's double. Why? Because when you write W, it's basically two V's. You combine two V's to make W, right? So that's why the pronunciation of W is double. That means two ways, which is two V's. So it's double. Remember, it's double and not double as that in English. So it's going to be double. Then we have X, which is X. 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 Then we have Y. It is a complete different pronunciation from that of English, which means Y. Y is Y. This one you just have to simply remember by heart because it's completely different from that of English and has no sense in this pronunciation. So you just simply remember this one by heart. So Y is going to be Y. Y. Then the final one we have is Z. In English, it's Z. It's ending with the D sound. But in French, it's going to be Z. It's going to end with the sound. So in French, in general, we do not pronounce the hard sounds. Instead, we pronounce the soft sounds because French is a very soft language. So we try to avoid the hard sounds and we rather pronounce the softer sounds. So wherever you see the hard sound, for example, D, Z, right? You convert it into a softer version of it. So it becomes Z instead of Z. For example, another example I would like to give you here. When you pronounce D, you did not pronounce D as in English, right? In French, you don't pronounce D as D in French. Rather, you pronounce it as they, not do. So try to avoid the hard sounds and try to pronounce the softer version of those sounds instead. So Z is Z. Is that clear, guys? A to Z. Everyone. Saroj, Diane, Gulpreet, any doubts you guys have from A to Z pronunciation?
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. So this was it. Yes, Gulpreet?
Yeah, it's clear. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, you raised your hand, so I thought you have some question. Okay, so A to Z, guys, is similar to that of English in way of writing. The way we write A to Z in English is similar in French. So we write the same exact cut, copy, paste A to Z in French. The only difference is in the pronunciation, and you can remember the pronunciation using the way I explained you here. So I'm going to share this document with you after the end of the class, and you can remember this. It will take some time. Don't panic, don't worry, but it will, yeah, of course, take some time and some practice to remember the pronunciations by heart. It won't come in one class only. So yeah, that was A to Z pronunciation. Now, next topic we are going to cover is the greetings. So greetings, there are two ways of greeting someone. One is formal, the other one is informal. So how you can use formal and informal greetings in French, that's what we are going to do in this topic. So basically, there are two ways to greet someone, as I mentioned, which is called les salutations. Les salutations, which is the greetings. So basically, les means the and salutation means greetings. So the greetings in French is les salutations. And first of all, we are going to cover the formal salutation. Formal salutation, which is formal greetings. Salutation formal is formal greetings. There's various ways to greet someone in a formal way. So first one, for example, let's take an example of this one. It is bonjour. You must have heard of this greeting. Bonjour, which means good morning or hello, or you can also say good day. Why? Because bon means good. Whenever you do greetings, you don't have to do ratification. You don't have to, just remember it, keep reading the greetings and keep trying to learn it. Try to understand the meaning of the word that it holds. For example, here in bonjour, we have bon and jour, right? Let me write it for you. Bon and jour. Here, bon means good. Good, good. And jour means day. So whenever you have to greet someone saying good morning or good day, you can say bonjour. So that is good morning or good day, or you can also use it in the place of hello. Then if you have to say someone good afternoon, similar way, you say bon and then put afternoon after that. So bon is good here and après-midi is afternoon. So basically, bon, good. Après-midi. Après-midi means afternoon. Après means after. Midi means afternoon. Noon, basically. Midi is midday. So midday is what? Noon. So afternoon. After midday is what? Afternoon. So good afternoon. Bon après-midi means good afternoon. Then we have bonsoir. Bonsoir means good evening. So when you say good evening, you can say bonsoir. Bonsoir is good evening. Bon here means good. Soir here means evening. So bonsoir is good evening. Again, if you have to say someone good night, you have to greet someone with good night, you say bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, that means good night. So bonne nuit, here in bonne nuit, it is composed of bon and nuit. Bon ending in ne, which means good again. And nuit means night. But guys, any guesses you can make why we are ending this word with ne, unlike here in these first three examples where we ended the word with n itself? Any guesses? Why are we doing that? Any guesses? Saroj, Tian, Gulpreet. No guesses? Diane?
Is it like formal and then informal?
No, the
Like
greetings that we are doing, Diane, are all formal ways of greeting someone. Is there any other guess you want to make? You want to give it a shot? Okay, no problem. So let me explain it to you. So, as you know, French is a language which is basically based on genders. In French, everything from object to some place to some person is categorized into a masculine thing or a feminine thing. Basically, it is categorized into genders. It is a gender-based language. Similar, whether it's a living thing or whether it's a non-living thing. Similarly, here the greetings are also categorized in genders. So if you say bonjour, Bon après-midi, bonsoir. These all greetings are male greetings. Basically, in French, they consider evening, afternoon, and morning as males. So they say bonjour, bon après-midi, bonsoir. But when it comes to night, they consider night as female. So they put NE at the end to indicate that it's female. For example, here you see M is written in brackets, right? Why? M means male. So this means it's a male thing, male greeting, bonsoir, which means good evening. Here F is written. F is written to indicate that it's a female greeting, which means bonne nuit, which is good night. So basically in French, nuit is considered as female. Night is considered as female. That's why they're ending this word with NE. Wherever you see a French word which is a female, which is considered as female in French, you either add E or an E depending on the subject word. Here it is bon, which means good. It's ending with N. So you will put N, E to make it female. So bonne nuit is female and it's ending with NE, which means good night. Is that clear, guys, why there was NE at the end? Everyone. Deanne, Saroj, Gulpreet, any doubts on this? Perfect. So, next one we have is Como talevu? Como talevu, which means how are you doing? Como talevu, if you remember Como Sava, if you heard of Como Sava. So, Como Sava is how are you, right? The other way to ask the same thing in formal settings and professional settings is how are you doing, right? And you can ask this by saying Como talevu? Como talevu? That is how are you doing? And here I am not saying como alevu. I am saying como talevu. This T and this A I am combining because it is the rule in French that you combine the sounds when there is any vowel here. When next word is starting with vowel, you combine the sound. So that is called liaison. That will be discussed in the further chapters. So that's not something you should focus on right now. Just imitate the pronunciation. Basically, it's como talevu. Talevu. So that is how are you doing. Then we have como vatiu. Como vatiu. That is how are you doing again. So other way to ask, how are you doing? Como vatiu. Then we have bienvenue. Bienvenue means welcome. So if you want to welcome someone somewhere or welcome someone to your meeting or class or anywhere, you say bienvenue to welcome them. Bienvenue itself means welcome. So bienvenue is welcome. Now that was some examples for our salutation formal, les salutations formal, that is the formal greetings. Bonjour, bon après-midi, bonsoir, bonne nuit, comment allez-vous, comment vas-tu, and bienvenue. Now, any doubts in formal greetings? Any questions, any pronunciation that is not clear, any word that is not clear with you guys, you can ask me. Informal greetings.
I have question about the gender. So it doesn't mean that it's male, it's only being used by male, right? It's
No.
just that they did like genderize those
Yeah.
words.
Yes.
Okay.
So they basically categorize those things in male or female. It's not that there is a male word, like say for example bonsoir. Only males can use it. No, it's not like that. It's just like they have categorized the words, everything into male and female basically. Whether it can be used by female or male, no matter. Sorry, no
Okay.
matter. But what the thing matters is that it needs to be categorized in male or female. Similarly, same way that we categorize bonne in female, but still males can use this word. Boys can also use this word to say good night. Bonne nuit. It doesn't matter what the word is, whether it's male or female. Everyone can use it. Is that clear?
Yep. Yes, yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Next, we have salutation informal. Salutation informal is basically informal greeting. Salutation is greeting and informal is informal basically. Now, if you have to talk to someone in an informal way, how will you talk? For example, you have to say hi or hello, you can say salut. Salut, which is hi or hello. You can say salut. T you will not pronounce. Any guesses why we are not going to pronounce T, guys? Here. Why is T silent? Anyone? Diane, you must be knowing this. You have attended our demo session, right, Diane?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you remember? Why do we? No? Okay, no problem. I will explain. So, there is this rule in French कि हमने the final consonant that we have, we are not going to pronounce it. Instead, we will make it silent. So any consonant that you see at the end of a word except CRFL, you will make it silent. If you see CRFL at the end of a word, you will pronounce it. But other than those, any consonant that you see at the end of a word, you will make it silent. So T is not coming in the list of CRFL. So we are making it silent. We are not pronouncing it. And the whole pronunciation becomes salu, which means hi or hello. Is that clear? Everyone. Are we on the same page? Yes, Gurpreet.
Ma'am, can you explain this one again, please?
Sh-
The consonant ones. Sorry.
Sure. I will open the slide for you I have here. So, in French, the final ending consonant is not going to be pronounced in any word. Wherever you see a consonant at the end of a word, guys, consonants, what are consonants? Consonants are basically any alphabets other than A, E, I, O, U, Y, because these are the vowels in French, right? Other than these alphabets, any alphabet you see that is a consonant. And any consonant that you see at the end of a word is not going to be pronounced in French. You will keep it silent. For example, here, epsilon. T is what? A vowel? No, it's a consonant, right? So we are going to make it silent. And that's the final consonant here because no consonant is coming after this. The word is ending in T, and T is what? A consonant. So we are going to make it silent. So it becomes epsilon. However, if you see any consonant like CRFL at the end of a word, CRFL will be pronounced in that case because this is one of the exceptions in this rule that wherever you see CRFL at the end of a word, basically wherever you see the final consonants as either CR or FL, you will pronounce it. So in that case, where we discuss the informal greeting, we discussed salut, which was ending in T, and T is not the exceptional case. It is not from the list of CRFL. It is any other consonant other than CRFL. So we are not pronouncing it. So it becomes salut, which means hi or hello. Is that clear, Gulpreet? Is that clear, Gulpreet, now?
Yes.
Perfect. Then we have hi, hello, the second way to say the same thing very casually. If you are talking to someone casually, you can say this cuckoo, cuckoo, just cuckoo, and that means hi or hello. Then we have como sava, that means how are you? How are you? If you have to ask someone how are you in an informal way, you say como sava, And if you see, guys, como, and it's not comment, it's como. Why? Because any ent ending word is pronounced as o in French. So it becomes como ça va. That is how are you. Similarly, the other way to ask the same thing is como, one second. Como tu vas? Como tu vas? That is how are you doing? Como tu vas? How are you doing? Tu vas bien? Tu vas bien? That means are you okay? If you want to ask someone very casually, are you okay? You say tu vas bien? Tu vas bien? That is are you okay? So como ça va is how are you? Como tu vas is how are you doing? But if you have to ask someone, are you okay? You say tu vas bien? Are you okay? Then if you have to say, like, for example, you talk to your friends and you say, what's up? What's new, right? You can say quoi de neuf? Quoi de neuf? Quoi de neuf? That is what's new or what's up. Other way to say the same thing is quoi de beau? Quoi de beau? Quoi de beau is what's new or what's up. Right? Is that clear? Quoi de beau and quoi de neuf, guys, clear? Please pronounce it after me one by one. Saroj, you can go first.
It's quoi de neuf?
Quoi de neuf.
Quoi de neuf?
And then quoi de beau?
Quoi de beau?
That's right. Perfect. Diane, you can go next, please.
Quoi de neuf?
Not neuf, it's neuf. Quoi de neuf.
Quoi de neuf?
Yes. Then next one.
I forgot the next one.
It's I'll show you. Just use this here.
Okay.
Now try to
Quoi-
pronounce
Quoi de
beau.
beau?
So it's B
Beau.
and then O. You can pronounce it as beau.
Quoi de
Beau.
Okay. Quoi de
Okay.
beau?
Yes, quoi de beau, which is what's new or what's up. Gulpreet, please, next.
It's quoi de neuf
Hmm.
and quoi de beau.
Yes. So quoi de neuf or quoi de beau. If you have to ask someone, your friend now, you can ask very easily quoi de neuf, which means what's up. Quoi de beau, what's up or what's new. Okay. Now, if you have to say, nice to meet you, you're meeting someone for the very first time and you want to tell them after the end of your meeting that it was nice meeting you. So you can say, enchanté, enchanté, enchanté. Basically here, this is en, then we have sh, then we have en again, and then we have the. Enchanté. Is that clear? Everyone. Guys, is that clear? Please say that after me. Saroj, you can go first.
It's enchanté.
No, it's enchanté. Look at my lips. Look how I'm singing. Look how I'm doing the lip sync. So enchanté. Say that again.
Enchanté.
Perfect. Diane, next please.
Enchanté.
Perfect. Kulpreet, please. Next.
It's au chante.
Perfect. Enchanté, which is nice to meet you. Then, if you like, we did here, como ça va, como tu vas bien, how are you doing, are you okay? If you have to respond to these questions, how you can say you are good or you're doing well. So you can say très bien, which means very well. Très bien, very well. Other way to say the same thing is if you just want to simply say well, I'm doing well, you say bien. Another way to say the same thing is I am doing very well. That's what you say in English, or I'm doing well. Very much similar things, but just letting you know. So you can remove the if you don't have to say very, because the means very. So you can say I am doing well or I am doing very well. Accordingly, you can add or subtract the. So je vais très bien, which means I am doing very well, or je vais bien. Just remove the and je vais bien, that is I am doing well. So je vais très bien, I am doing very well. Je vais bien is I am doing well. Another way to say same thing is it's going very well or it's going well. You just add sava, the bien, or sava, bien. Just add sava. If you have to say I am, then it will be jove. But if you have to say it's going, then you add sava. So jove is for I am. 1 second. So jove is I am. Sava is for it's going. So another way to say the same thing basically. Sava the bien is it's going very well. Sava bien is it's going well. If you have to say I am doing very well or I am doing well, you say je vais très bien. Je vais. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Sava. You can simply also say Sava. If someone asks you Sava, that means are you okay? Like just say in English, you say, are you okay? And you reply, yeah, okay. Right? Same thing in French. If someone asks you Sava, you say Sava. That means it's just like the tone changes, the way you say it, it changes. If you're going to ask question, you say Sava. And if you have to reply, if you have to respond, you say Sava. Just it's a difference in the tone, difference in the way you say. Otherwise, you can casually say Sava, that is, are you okay? And Sava, I am okay. Then we have Sava et toi. So if you have to ask them in response, in reply, you have to ask them in return that are you okay as well? You say Sava et toi. I am good. And what about you? And you, are you good as well? So you say Sava et toi. So it's à toi. Toi. Ça va à toi. Is that clear, guys? Saroj, Leanne, Gulpreet, is that clear? Okay, please say that after me. Ça va à toi. One by one. Saroj, you can go first.
It's Sava et toi.
What does that mean, Saroj?
I'm okay, and you?
Perfect. And Leanne, what about you? Please pronounce it after me.
Ça va et toi?
Okay, Gulpreet, you can go next.
It's Sava et toi.
Perfect. So, ça va à toi. If I ask you now, como ça va? Let's have a short conversation. So, como ça va, guys?
Ça va.
Ça va or ça va bien? And you ask me as well, à toi. Say, and you?
Ça va et toi?
Ça va or t'es
Ça
bien?
va.
Okay. So that was all for today's class, guys. We are done with the formal and the informal greetings. If formal greetings is basically salutation formal, if you have to greet someone by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening in your office, in your workplace, you can use these words. Bonjour, that means good day, good morning. Bon après-midi, good afternoon. When you have to leave the workplace, you're going back home, you can say bonsoir, that is good evening. Bonne nuit, good night. When you're going to sleep and you say good night, you can say bonne nuit. Comment allez-vous? You can ask your boss, your manager, how are you doing? Comment vas-tu? Same thing. You can say how are you doing? If you have to say someone welcome, you are welcoming them in your meeting, in your class, or you want to say just simply welcome, you can say bienvenue. Then we did informal greetings. Hi, hello. If you have to say hi to your friend, the easiest way to say in French, coucou or salut. And you can ask them, how are you doing? How are you? Como ça va? Como tu vas? Or ça va? And they respond, ça va. And toi, and you say ça va. Right? So if you have to ask them what's up, what's new, you can simply say, quoi de neuf? Quoi de beau? So this beau, you can easily remember using this pronunciation, B-O, which is beau. Quoi de beau? Very easy. Then enchanté, nice to meet you. Très bien, very well, bien well. Je vais très bien, I am doing very well. Ça va très bien is it's going very well. There's not much difference. The only difference is that when you have to say I am doing very well, you say je vais. Je vais très bien. And when you have to say it is going very well, you say ça va très bien. Is that okay, guys? Is that clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So
Yep.
this perfect. So this was the end of our session today, end of our day one class where we covered about les alphabets and salutation, the greetings and the alphabets. If you guys have any doubts, you can either ask me right now or you can even WhatsApp me later if you feel there is any confusion you have in the les alphabet or les salutation. And Gulpreet, you have some questions for me?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Like today's like a first class. Like it seems like some all words are similar. Like I think it will take time, yeah, to remember that one.
So exactly, it will take practice and time, guys. French is a very, very easy language if you put in time and if you put in practice. So you
Okay.
just have to put in some practice. If you hear like these alphabets that we did and the greetings that we did, these are basically going to be a daily part of your routine when you start studying French. Because say for example, I am teaching you, I'm going to be an instructor. I will be asking you in French only when I'm going to start the class. Como ça va? How are you doing, Gulpreet? Como tu vas? Are you okay? How are you doing? Ça va? Are you okay? So you will reply to me in French as well. Yes, ma'am, I'm doing very well. So ça va bien, je vais très bien. It's going very well. Ça va très bien. Or I am doing very well. Je vais très bien. So you're going to reply to me in French. That will become basically a part of your routine. So that way it will like the words, the greetings that you are going to learn will be there in your subconscious mind. So it will start coming automatically. So it's just that you have to be like around the language, surround yourself with the language, and you will start learning it easily. Is that clear?
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem. Any
Yeah.
other questions, guys?
None for now.
None?
No, no, that's good.
Okay, okay, perfect. So I'm going to end the class here. You can let me know